Another mode of transport is the intermodal transport, and this involves the use of two or more modes in a single journey. So, for example, a shipping container might arrive at a Roundladian port by sea, be offloaded onto a railway wagon, and then that will carry it to a terminal at which it will be loaded onto another articulated truck for delivery to its final destination. So, first of all, a shipping container, and then you offload it into a railway wagon that will now take it to another articulated truck for delivery to its final destination. So this is not uncommon. In fact, this is the most common mode of transportation for large quantities or heavy-duty goods that are moved between different countries. Intermodal transport frequently involves freight that is being carried in shipping containers. This can be stacked on the decks of container ships or loaded onto wagons on freight trains or trailers on articulated trucks. So these containers can also be stacked on land for storage purposes. So you can also use these containers for storage purposes, enabling goods to be stored without the need for warehouse space. So sometimes if creating a warehouse space is too expensive, can we explore using containers to store products? And then we design the containers so that they can have the right temperature. But you have to also consider that storage containers, can you configure them? Because you remember we talked about the configuration of storage facilities that are very important to enhance flow of goods from within the facility, and then when you are also loading them onto another means of transport in order to get to their final destination. So all of these things must be considered, but it's just an idea, it's just an option that you have as well to think about. Shipping containers are standardized in terms of their size and the fittings that are used to secure them on a ship, train, or truck. Those same fittings are also compatible with the hoists used for loading and unloading at ports and road and rail terminals. Containers can be purchased with refrigeration. Can you see now? So if you want to use those containers for storage, they can be purchased with refrigeration, air conditioning, and other systems that enable them to be used to prolong the lives of perishable goods during transportation or storage. And we use them for mini storage facilities just to quickly achieve our aim. Maybe we want to quickly store something somewhere in order to be able to load them for another means of transportation, maybe just to take advantage of 2 or 3 days in between. So it's all about planning. It's all about managing scheduling. It's all about how you can manage all of these things in order to deliver the products on time. Remember, timely, and then at the most efficient cost. Intermodal transportation can offer rapid and efficient movement of goods in comparison to single mode of transport. So it may also be cheaper to use an articulated truck to transport manufactured goods from a factory to the nearest rail terminal and have them complete their journey by freight, rather than making the entire journey by road. So this is an example here that has been given to us. So instead of making the entire journey through articulated truck by road, it might be cheaper to first of all just take the articulated truck to a factory, from a factory to the nearest rail terminal, and then the rail will complete the journey. So it's all about, once again, managing cost, managing time. There's no fixed way. It depends on the cost efficiency that you want to achieve. Which one is most cost efficient? That's the one you choose. How do you combine the different modes of transport to achieve the minimal cost possible? That's just it. The intermodal transport can be made more efficient by using inland ports. So it can also be made more efficient by using inland ports. These are basically rail terminals that are not served by a seaport. They are usually located close to both the main railway lines and motorways so that they can act as distribution centers. So inland ports can act as distribution centers, offering flexibility. Once again, flexibility is a big product for any company working in this industry. And you must note all of these simple ways that you can use to achieve flexibility. You can use inland ports to serve as distribution centers, and that will offer you flexibility. So all of these things are things that you should note. They can act as distribution centers, offering flexibility in the collection and onward movement. They also have storage facilities to enable goods to be offloaded and held until they are needed, although they will come at a certain cost. But these are things that gives you options, flexibility. These are intangible products that you can include in your services as a 3PL logistics provider so that you can increase your revenue. It is often cheaper to take goods arriving by ship to an inland port for storage or distribution. So that means we can use inland ports to achieve cost efficiency. Seaports usually have good rail links, but it can be expensive to store goods there because there are restrictions on space. So we go for inland ports. Similarly, goods can be offloaded at an inland port before taking them by rail to a seaport. So inland ports looks like a very strategic unit in intermodal means of transportation. Inland ports can also be used for transporting goods within the country. They can make it cost effective. Once again, those are the things that we are looking for. Cost effective to transfer goods from road to rail, even if the railway journey is relatively short. So inland ports is a key part of intermodal means of transportation, can be used to achieve cheaper costs of transporting goods. It can be used to achieve flexibility. It can act as distribution centers, and it can also be used to store goods, can serve as storage facilities to enable goods to be offloaded until they are needed.